Jumped on nice and early. Hope everyone's well. There he is. Let's get cracking. Throw in your questions now, by the way. Loads have come in. Thank you. Big thank you to all those guys and girls who have sent them in. And there he is.
All right.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm all right. Who are you?
Not too bad at all, bud. Yeah, really well. Really well. Thank you, mate. I appreciate the time.
No problem.
You in the loft room there, are you?
It's our bedroom, but it's at the top. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, no,
it's the only secret place.
Yeah, top floor away from the downstairs carnage. Good on you, mate. Thank you for, I'm aware it might be sort of dinner time for yourself, so thank you.
No, it's fine.
How you been in the last few weeks or so? Training, keeping the weight on, gymming?
Yeah, it's tough, but at least you can start to see near an end, hopefully. In the next few weeks, we'll get back in. But yeah, it has been just so strange to spend so much time on your own with just your family and training on your own. So we've got a real good, nice setup in the street here with the neighbours and stuff. So I've been keeping in contact with them. We had a good VE Day little party get together.
Oh,
we had another one on bank holiday just gone. So yeah, we're all right. It's actually built. We now know each other properly as opposed to if Corona. We wouldn't have known the neighbours as well.
Well, that is one positive. Yeah, nice. You're now obviously down towards, well, I guess Harlequins Club. Are you now based in South West London, or are you still?
No, I'm still up north. I'm still up in Wigan, where I'm from, because I headed back for the Sale game, the final. And yeah, so that's the weekend it got cancelled. So I'd stayed up here because I hadn't sorted a place yet. I was staying in Danny Kerr's. So,
okay, how's that with the kids as well?
It was all right, actually. It was all right. They looked after me.
I'm sure he did. He jumped on Alex Donbrandt's live a few weeks ago and got stuck into him well and truly. So
did he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, you can rely on someone like him to get stuck in nicely. Who else is who else? I know Danny Kerr. You went not necessarily say live, but you did a thing. I think for Quince TV or something on those lines.
Yeah, we've done a few of them.
Kind of how tight you and Danny Kerr are, and obviously you go back so many years. Who else is in that camp that you're obviously real tight with?
Probably that era, that time is probably Dylan as well and James Haskell, who we were good friends with. We stayed together for a long time. We still keep in contact. Yeah. Haskell's never off social media. Actually keeps in contact with everybody.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
Fingers in pies, isn't it?
It's nice to finally link up with Danny and going to be able to, hopefully sooner rather than later, get a chance to play with him too, which I've only been able to do at England. Yeah,
you get on the receiving end of one of those kicks of his, mate. You're laughing.
Yeah, that'd be all right, mate. 10 of them would do me a fine.
Yeah. Can you just remind, well, both myself and the group, of course, how many are you actually on? How many career tries? You are close to 100, aren't you?
I think 86 or something like that. 86. I'm guessing.
Okay. I like how you're actually casual about it, though. I like you're actually
the main reason is because I was at Sale previously, because I'm friends with Matt Cueto, having played with him. He's on 90, so he's the one I wanted to catch. But Tom Vandel's in front of him. But yeah, there's a few more to go yet. There's quite a way to go.
Where did Vandel get to? Over 100?
92.
92?
Yeah.
Okay, decent.
Well,
is the phone on a laptop there? It keeps your phone seems to be sliding along.
Yeah, I know. I'll hold it.
No, it's not a problem at all. I just didn't want to.
It keeps sliding. I don't know why it's doing that.
No, you're all good. You're all good. Look, obviously, because you've had phone calls and dinner time and stuff, we're sort of short and sharp with a half an hour. So if you don't mind, I appreciate the intros, but we'll get stuck in. So obviously to those guys and girls who have just signed in and will do, thank you very much. Welcome to Chris Ashton. Thank you for our huge sponsors as well. Magnus Belushi's External Concepts and Park Dean and Our Lady sponsor Adair. Thank you for the link up as well with your sister. So if you do get hold of her as well, just to pass on my regards. We send each person who does this through a quick fire Q&A. It's a bit like most of the interviews do, where it's whatever comes to your head, just say it. Whatever you think best describes you, just say whatever comes to mind. There are 11 of them. You've only got about a second per one, so we'll just get cracking.
Okay.
So off we go. Old rugby or new rugby?
New rugby.
Large or extra large?
Large.
Dad dancer or decent dancer?
Dad dancer.
Nice. Talent or hard work?
Hard work.
Nice. Main course and starter or main and pudding?
Main course and starter.
Okay. Angry or just competitive?
Competitive.
North England or South?
North.
Good lad. Undiscovered or well known?
Well known.
Exciting rugby and lose the game, or safe and win?
Safe and win.
League or union?
Union.
Love that. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I've just seen my northern colleague jumped on it. He's the Mancunian bloke just answered for you there as well. Just said North.
No, so did he? Good.
You've got a few Game of Thrones, King of the North chat going on. So yeah, thank you, Matt. I appreciate this. So we'll just get stuck into a few of the questions that have come in from all sorts of different people, 11-year-olds through their parents, coaches, all sorts of things. So we'll just get stuck in. The question on quite a few people's lips that came in more than 3 or 4 times were, firstly, short and sharp, favourite try. Obviously, you scored so many for so many different clubs, different lengths.
That's easy.
Favourite try?
Is against Australia for England at Twickenham. Without doubt.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. The hat trick against England for the Barbarians. The specific question was like the changing room / bar afterwards. What's that like?
Tired and obviously ecstatic because that's such a good win. But part of the Barbarians is going out during the week too, so
yeah,
to get through the game, because at the time of the year the game is, it's always hot. So to go out drinking all week and then go and play a game that was nearly 30 degrees that day and beat England, yeah, we had a good night, but we were knackered.
Yeah, I've heard. I'm sure everyone knows the rumours about the week in the build up to the Barbarians. They're all like central London-ish, aren't they?
Yeah. So they're based on Park Lane, so everything is based in central London.
Talking of Danny Kerr, I feel like he's just jumped on it again. Danny Kerr.
Oh, is he there?
One ear, half the size of the other one. I'm not entirely sure we want to go there, do we? Or do we?
Too much rugby, mate. That's why it's a rugby injury.
And also, Danny, he's a winger. All right, he's the busy one doing the rucking and tackling.
Exactly.
Yeah. Scrum halves,
instead of getting his lip done, he should get his nose done. That's what he should do.
Get a little nose job done. There we are. Shots fired. Shots fired. Love that. Very good. And one of the more consistent ones, Wiggy's just jumped on it as well. Good stuff.
Shows you good side, look. Yeah, this side, without doubt.
Right. I see you got a fresh haircut there as well. Are you managing to?
My missus is good with the scissors. My missus is killing it.
Oh, right. Okay. That's a nice little cropped up hair. I'm jealous. I'm straddling here, but this is just a whip of hair gel scraped over. Ropey.
People are struggling, mate, aren't they? And it ain't changing anytime soon either, that.
No, it's not. No, the hairline's going as well. We gone for one of the more regular ones as well. Just says here, what is it like? Semi-controversial. What's it like with Tuilagi after the big incident knocked in the face by quite a large human being?
Those boys don't really take emotional into rugby. It's just go play rugby, forget about it.
Yeah.
So when I did see him after it, I thought we were gonna maybe chat about it, have a little just conversation about what happened and why it happened and stuff. But there was none of that. He just basically laughed in my face when I asked him about it and just wanted to get on with it. So,
well, to be fair,
that's what I did.
Well, one of the follow-ups, and my mate just jumped on it as well, one of the follow-ups is the fact that, to be fair, you're the one laughing, right? Because he's clocked you one and you're just still standing. So, to be fair...
Well, yeah, it could look like that, but I don't think that was ever my intention or his intention. It's just luck that happened.
You're being humble. I like it. You're being humble.
No, I'm not.
What one's come in from our club, a chap called Justin. Where did the inspiration for the Ash Splash come from?
It actually happened on accident.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in a Wales game at Wales, just over the line. And someone made a bit of a deal about how I dove over the line, so I just carried on doing it, pretty much.
Yeah, it's nice to shut them up, I guess.
Some people loved it, some people are annoyed about it, so I just carried on doing it. And it's still the same now. Some people love it, some people hate it.
I guess you're never going to be able to please everyone, are you?
Exactly, yeah.
You've got quite a few mates there, haven't you, Ash? You've got Wigglesworth to get stuck into your pea head and all sorts.
No, they're obviously bored at home. Leave me alone with you.
Very good. Someone else in the club, so shout out, Sam Evans has sent in nice open-ended question. What are you most looking forward to at Quince?
What am I most looking forward to? I'd like to say playing at the Stoop full with all his fans, but I don't know if that's going to happen this year. But that is probably still going to be one of the things I'm waiting for, is because I've played there so many times, obviously against Harlequins, with it being a full stadium, and they've got a great set of fans there. So it's probably still going to be that, but I might have to wait some time for it. Fair
point. Talking to the Ash Splash, the chap that's just put the question in there, I don't know if you can see it or not, Andy Arden. Shout out Andy Arden. He's a good community club coach coordinator. Yeah, Martin Johnson's opinion of the Ash Splash.
He was a bit, well, he's annoyed at a lot of things in life, Jono, but
he's an angry man. He's an angry man.
He is, yeah. So it's an easy thing to get angry about. But generally, he was fine. As long as I scored, he didn't care. He wasn't mad. He didn't mind at all.
Makes sense. Thank you. Someone is coming from a player at our club called Tom. So shout out, Tom. Thank you. Short and sharp. Player-led environment or let the coaches coach?
I think the best teams are player-led.
Okay. Is that any particular comment and current? Go on, expand on that. Sorry, go on.
Based on, I think there'll be a good relationship between coaches and players, and if you have a good player-led group, then there'll be a lot of experienced players, a good mix of young and old, and people who've been at the club for a long time, and everyone buys into one goal. I think sometimes you can get the wrong crossover if you've just got a coach shouting at the players all the time what to do. I don't find it's, not in my experience anyway, it's not worked too well.
Fair point, nice. So there was some more specific stuff there about the current situation, like naming people like Owen Farrell and players leading and that sort of stuff, but maybe just don't get too stuck into that right now. But well, shout out, someone's just come on saying asking you, who's the best player you have played against? One in England, one in France.
Played against. For me, it's probably, in my position, someone opposite me is probably Julian Sevilla, when he was at his best. Yeah, he was so hard to stop. I swear he scored about 6 hat-tricks past me. Every time I played him, he scored a hat-trick. So, yeah, I'd have to say him. He's probably Semi Radradra, who is going to play at Bristol next year. So that's good for the Premiership.
Yeah, he snaps up, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, so he is a freak of nature. So he'll be good to see in the Premiership. Hopefully he won't do too well in the cold weather. Let's hope for that, mate. A bit of rain.
Especially over in Bristol, where it's pissing down about 75% of the year over there, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So whenever we play him, let's hope it's raining.
Not sure he checked the forecast when he signed that dotted line, did he? He was signing away. He's not quite checked the forecast, is he?
No, I don't think he's bothered about
that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. This one from female side of the game in our club, from a female called Susie. What inspired the change of codes? I know you were obviously like 20 at the time, 19, 20 at the time, but what inspired it?
Yeah, so part of the reason was my age. I was young enough, if it went badly wrong, that I could have gone back. It would have been tail between the legs, but I was young enough to be able to go back. I just could go and get some life experience, go live in a different place and try something different. I was always kind of edging to it anyway, so yeah, I just took the jump, took the gamble. It was obviously a really big increase in wage from virtually my Wigan academy contract. So it was a combination of the two, but it was a good chance for me to get away from home, and yeah, thankfully I took it.
Nice. And what is that from? I'm bad with North of England, but where from Wigan down to Northampton? Is that a drastic change in geography, or is that?
Yeah, it was for me because rugby league is literally all around up here. All the teams are within half an hour, 45 minutes away of each other.
Okay.
You always go on the day, and a lot of people still have their friends from school, and it's all very close knit, and fans are all support their team and from the town. So for me to go to Northampton, it's like 140 miles from here, and still go from living at home to living out. It was basically probably similar to me to going off to university, probably similar sort of scenario as that.
No, I guess that changes the culture around the game as well. All the preamble, the build-up, the crowd. If you don't know them, so I guess it's an exciting concept for someone of 20 years old. You sign for a new club, but also you don't know everyone in the crowd, and they don't know you. It's kind of a whole different era to go.
Oh yeah, it was literally a polar opposites, but I loved it.
Yeah.
Very different people as well. Just the sports are so different. It was a real eye opener for me, and I think I've continued to do it through playing. I've always looked for another life experience somewhere to try something new. So once I made the jump from Wigan, because that was my hometown team, once I did that to Northampton, I seemed to always be wanting to move on a little bit quicker than I'd liked at the minute.
Yeah.
But I do like life experience and trying different things and going living in different places.
That does actually lead on to a question about your first day at Northampton. I like how so just straight up you were and honest you were on one of the England interviews. You said on your first day, kind of just rocked up at Northampton literally without a clue about union and the general sort of rules and the rucks and the breakdown and everything else. One of the questions that came in was about, and at that time, 12, 13 years ago, was it one person in particular took you under the wing at Northampton, or general culture?
Yeah, Paul Grayson really helped me all the way through. He was the one who was involved in signing me there, and then Jim Malander and Dorian West took over, so he was part of the coaching team there. He's defensive coach, and I still speak to him now. I still get on with him, still speak to him a lot. He's always been good to me, and he was a great mentor for me changing up.
Nice. To respond to one of the users who's just jumped on in the middle of the live, I can't actually pronounce their handle, so I won't bother, but they know who they are. It's about speed for a 15-year-old. To be specific to do with you gave quite a lot of credit to the Toulon S&C chap, the ex-bobsleigh S&C speed coach, who you said helped you out quite a lot. And one of the teenage players here has just jumped on. How do you improve a 15-year-old speed for rugby?
You have to do it regular. I think a lot of people don't probably spend as much time as it on what you think, even when you're playing, even when I'm playing week to week. Especially now I'm getting older, so when you're 15, you're not too bad, but you have to train it like you would anything else. You have to keep consistent with it. And even if it's not ideal to do it when you're tired, you need to do it when you're fresh. But yeah, I'd definitely say stay consistent with it and get it into your training program. Do it once, maybe twice a week if you can, and you've got to feel good on it. Don't spend a long time on it, but yeah, make sure it's part of your training, definitely.
Nice, thank you. I hope that answers your question. Right, down the list, you've got so few times, so many questions. Having one came in from a player, men's side of the game, having just signed for your fifth club, most parts of England and one in France. What is it in particular about club rugby that you most enjoy compared to international?
People.
Maybe? Okay.
Yeah, I reckon it's the people. Obviously, 5 clubs is never the intention, but having been at 5 clubs, there's an awful lot of people I've met. Yeah. There's an awful lot of relationships around the world now that's been created, and I take a lot from that. I've been in a lot of different environments too, because of the clubs that you're at and the people that are involved in them. And I'd like to think now I know a good one, and I know a bad one. So hopefully I'll figure someone out that. But yeah, people are definitely a big part of it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess the whole thing's social, right? Most people at your level, elite level, team sports people, you just buzz off that vibe with whether it's girls, guys, young, old. There just needs to be other people involved. And yeah, like you say, after 5 clubs worth of people, some French, some Northern, some Southern, you know, pretty rounded.
All over the place, but a lot of similarities. But yeah, I'd be able to know now the good, the bad, and the ugly. So that's a good thing to take out of it.
Nice. What someone started about Martin Johnson again, just saying, what do you reckon he'd do if you dropped it during an ash splash?
I wouldn't like to know. I mean, I've seen these hands were ginormous, like shovels.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to
hammer me into the floor.
Just one of the back slaps across the front.
No, like on the head, just all the way into the floor.
It's Chapter Sand in here. Rob has asked you, how long did it take to acclimatise in Toulon?
With my skin colour, I don't think I ever acclimatised.
Yeah, you're a burner, aren't you?
They were actually like fearful for my life when I turned up because I was so pale. Acclimatise, I'm guessing he means in the way to settle into the different culture.
Yeah.
It was a shock to the system. It was a drastic change from going to Saracens to Toulon. A lot of things are different. A lot of it's just like get on with it and play. And when I've been at a place like Saracens to go into Toulon in the south of France, everything's very relaxed and very calm, and we'll get through it. And if you win on the weekend, it's fine. If you lose on the weekend, someone's going to die. So it was either up in the sky or down on the floor. There was no in the middle.
Yeah,
and you just have to get used to it, which is part of the reason why I struggled, because I couldn't understand the mentality of it. You got to try and find a level somewhere, but it was also up, down, up, down. You just didn't know what was going to go on from one day to the next.
How did your French get on? You tu parles français, or was it?
I was getting better. I was all right.
Yeah.
Surrounded by it all the time. You start to pick it up. You start to understand it, and without even thinking about it, you understand what someone's in a restaurant or whatever. You just overhear stuff, and you start to find out what people mean, what things mean. But yeah, it quickly disappeared as soon as I left.
Yeah, you're not going to get much more of that down at Harlequins. It's all going to be green barbers and
I don't mind.
So yeah, it's going to be flat whites and paninis at Harlequins. Don't worry about that. Just to jump on one of the coaches, our 21s coach, our club's coach, has it's a new section of the club we're looking to open up for sort of that age gap, 18, 21. It's a good question, to be fair. He's in detail. In one of the interviews you mentioned, says as a child, just for context, sorry, our club is a very much state school majority. They don't get much rugby at the schools they're at. And he watched an interview, and he noticed one of the sentences you said was, as a child, you said you had a genuine problem not scoring tries. You had to go and score tries, even from the age of, sort of, whatever a child is, 8, 10 upwards. You had to just go and get hold of the ball. And the question is, where do you think that hunger comes from? And is that attitude limited to your position in rugby?
I think a little bit of both. Positional wise, I see it as my job. I do know more so than recently, just because it's like a winger as a striker in football. They score goals and we score tries, so I see it as part of the job. So I see it as though I want to go and do my job for the team, and if I do score, then I feel like I've had an impact for the team. But when I was young, it is the same now. I just want to score tries. I think I don't know what I think. It's the feeling that I get from it. It's just the reason why I play, and the reason why I play is to go and get that feeling. So you just want to get it over and over again. And I think whenever anyone scores a try, I'd like to think I'm within 5 meters of it, just to give myself a chance of scoring that try.
Is that one of the stats you try and bring up on Monday morning in the room? Is it? Someone else scores.
I'm there. As long as I'm in shot, then I know I'm going to keep
exactly,
getting them.
Yeah. You're looking at the fitness coach going, yeah, look, I'm in the shot. Don't worry about that.
Exactly. That's all that matters.
Yeah, perfect. Because someone else also jumped on to follow on from that. A bit of a cross-sport question, really, but quite accurately asked about, would you ever, or maybe have you ever, to be fair, go and learn from a striker or spend some time with a footballer who has that same kick? Have you ever spoken to one, met one? Would you ever go?
I've never actually thought about it, but it probably would be a good idea.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things. You know how coaches always share good practice, and Eddie Jones and Guardiola had that that loving going on in the papers and stuff. So
I'm sure there's a lot of crossovers there, you know.
Yeah, well, I just think in terms of attitude. Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I think no one comes to mind right now who would like the Alan Shearer kind of just always in the box, always ready to tap it in. But yeah,
six yards Alan, they call it.
Exactly, just stand around, hang around. That's me, goal hanging. That's all I'm about.
Hey, if you get to 100, you get to 100, right?
Exactly, doesn't matter how you got there. And no one remembers that.
I'll tell you what, the props will back you up on that. Doesn't matter how far out you scored from, just you scored, all right?
It's all that matters.
Nice. Lovely. Okay, last few, we're just going to rattle them off. So it's coming from an old boy, remain nameless for now, but one of the old boys has jumped on it and said, what was, you may or may not still be friends, but what was Carlos Spencer like up close and personal, both playing and personal?
Personal, I think he ignored me for the first 3 months.
Perfect. Great start, social.
It's a bit of an old school Kiwi mentality. They take time. It takes time to get to know you, which now I have a lot of respect for. He didn't rush into anything, and he was obviously at the older end of the spectrum when we were playing, and I was at the younger end. So he kept his distance, but over time we got to know each other, and he accepted me for what I was. He's the ultimate professional. When I was playing with him, he trained like no one else. Him and Bruce Rihanna were always the last in the gym, always the last on the field. They were in ridiculous shape. Dylan's out. He wasn't in ridiculous shape. He was like a blancmange back then, and he still is.
There it is.
But yeah, those two, they were odd characters. He didn't mess with them on the night out either. I must have got punched off Bruce by about 5 times.
Right, okay. That's quite, it's quite a tough crowd. But we're just going to try and wait out and see if Dylan nibbles on that one, throws in any more shots back to you. But
no, he won't.
It's all coming in now that he's signed in. Jesus Christ. I'll go for a sincere one about Guzzy and you going back to Harlequins, of course. Like how, being reacquainted with him as a person, both on and off the pitch. You guys have a rapport there, and how's that going?
Yeah, I always got on with him really well at Saracens, and our wives are actually really friendly too. He was a great coach, and he's still a great coach. But he was a great coach when I was at Saracens with him, and I know what kind of person he is. Like we mentioned before about people in clubs, I think it's so important. And obviously, Guzzy being in charge at Harlequins it was a really big pulling point for me.
Yeah,
I know what kind of person he is and how he wants his club to be, and he's just a real good communicator, and he's one of the best coaches I've been involved with.
Nice. We have taken the liberty of seeing that maybe in and around that time, in around Southwest London, there will be the slight possibility at our rugby club day that we'll get in charge. I don't know if you know the link between Old Emanuel and Harlequins. The CEO who recently joined, Laurie. You might have had some FaceTime with him during the contract stuff, but he's actually an Old Emanuel old boy.
Okay.
He's quite tight with some of the guys down there, and obviously that's part of the link. And look, we kind of had to come to a close in the next few minutes, but just to plant a seed. It's the end of August. You guys are probably going to be busy, but if we can speak to yourself, people like Guzzy, Don Brandt, Laurie, and just get a few guys down, that would be hugely appreciated. Obviously, you're going to be busy training, but we as a club really appreciate your time. So thank you, mate.
No problem.
No worries. I really enjoyed it. Look, you probably need to get off. The loads of stuff has come in, but I fight about the Tuolagi situation. Let's go. Well, we might have to leave that one there because I know you need to get off. But look, thank you very much. As I said, you've got some contacts built up already, so hopefully we can speak in the next few months and hopefully catch you in August. But good luck with all the training as well.
Yeah, we can sort something out, no problem.
Yeah, that'd be great. Are you guys managing to do some isolated stuff at Quince or on your own, sort of?
Training wise?
Yeah, you kind of managing to.
No, well, I'm still up here. I think some of the lads are still using the pitches and stuff down south, but
yeah,
not for me, mate. I am on my own at the minute, which is tough.
You enjoy the downtime while you can, buddy.
I know. It's a good job I like training, or else I'd be knackered.
Good plug. Good plug like that. Don't worry, we're all watching. All the pros are watching. Back covered. Nice one, bud. Take care of yourself.
Thanks, see you later.
Nice one. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.